First, let's take a look at the sequence from master data setting to production schedule planning. Schedule planning and scheduling require item processes for the creation of a production plan and production capacities. Further, we set the replenishment method to produce or procure the necessary finished items, manufactured parts, and raw materials based on the customer forecast in sales. Based on that information, scheduling that takes into account production capacity, production quantity, and loads is achieved. Let's check the settings for manufactured part sub-ASCII 2. Master input instructions show component item information. Under Item/Resource, Wire 2 and Connector 2, which are items to be assembled, are set. For each manufactured part, 0.5 meters of Wire 2 and 2 pieces of Connector 2 are necessary. Time constraint method and time constraint MIN are set so that the start of the processes is at least a day after the completion of the previous processes. Use BOM instructions specify the manufacturing facilities and machines. Here, 3 machines, sub-ASCII 1, sub-ASCII 2, and sub-ASCII 3, can be used for production. The production capacity of each machine is 1 subassembly item per minute. Likewise, component parts and production capacities are defined for manufactured part sub-ASCII 1L and finished item wire harness L. Next, we will look at how to replenish the required quantities of finished items, manufactured parts, and raw materials. The replenishment method is detailed information of items, so we set it in the item table. For the wire harness, which is the finished item, we reserve inventory and schedule only the insufficient quantity to be produced within the plant. For the finished item, we set the auto-replenish flag to Yes, inventory plus 1-to-1 production, and obtain method to Produce. For the sub-assembly items, which are manufactured parts, we also produce only to replenish shortage but schedule the production so that they are produced in bulk. Thus, we set the item production lot size to the quantity of items to be produced in bulk and the auto-replenish flag to Yes. Likewise, we set the item lot size and the auto-replenish flag for the raw materials. Okay, let's register the manufacturing orders and reschedule. We add 2 orders to produce 100 pieces of item wire harness L by August 5th. When we click the Reschedule button, scheduling is executed. Based on the required quantities for the finished item, manufacturing order with manufactured part item and purchase order for raw materials are automatically replenished. For the quantities of these orders, the required amounts are calculated from the quantity of the finished item, and then the necessary lot sizes of each item are applied. Looking at the resource Gantt chart, we can see that operations are assigned to facilities. The operation for the finished item wire harness L is assigned on the following day after the operations for the subassembly items will have been finished. This is because in the time constraint method of the master input instruction of component items, we specified the start of the process to be at least a day after the completion of the previous processes. The duration expression for the manufacturing order of item sub-ASCII 1L is 3 minutes per piece times order quantity 400 equals 1,200 minutes as set in the integrated master. The green bars in front of the operations are setups. The required setup times will be explained later. When we look at the operations assigned to sub-ASCII 1, we see that they are automatically leveled according to the capacity constraints of resources. As seen here, Asprova enables planning of finite capacity schedules in which operations are automatically leveled according to production capacities. In addition, Asprova supports scheduling that covers the entire production process, from sales to purchases, by using required quantity calculation and replenishment.